Hey everybody, this is Roy Canny, and this is Favorite Game Friday, where we have a group of contributors with completely different tastes in gaming talk about their favorite game in the category of the week. This week we're talking all about games where you fought boss monsters, whether it be a cooperative game where you're fighting against a big bad guy, or just a game where you're competing to take down a big bad. Make sure to leave in the comments down below your favorite game that has boss monsters in it, and let's get to all of the contributors' clips.
I have to say, we don't tend to play a lot of dungeon crawls or games where there's huge boss battles and a lot of fighting. We tend towards more family weight games and things that are more of a Euro style game. But for a family weight game that does have some battling of monsters, our favorite is Horrified. And the cool thing about this game is, well, first of all, it's pretty easy to learn and it's easy to jump into, so it's a very welcoming game for a lot of people. But the great thing is that you can change the difficulty level based on how many monsters you add into the game. You know, when you start out, maybe you go against 2 of the big bad guys and ease your way into it. But then 3 seems to be the sweet spot where you can add different monsters and different combinations that changes the game every time and adds different levels of difficulty. The other thing that I've noticed about this game is it feels like the player count can change the difficulty as well. If you play with, say, 3 players, your players can kind of spread out around the board a little bit, and so you're not getting hit by those monsters every single turn. But if you play with more players, basically every turn somebody's going to be getting hit by one of these bad guys. And I think that kind of ramps up the difficulty a little bit when you play it with a few more players. But Horrified, excellent game, one of my top 10 of all times. I love it. I'm not a huge co-op fan, but this one is my favorite co-op of all time. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, Board Game Fridayers. When Roy asks for your favorite boss battler, he kind of lobs a softball over the plate because I love the superhero games and the boss battlers. My favorite is probably Symbols of the Multiverse, 2nd edition, 1st edition, the newest definitive edition. You fight cooperatively against a bunch of villains. That's what a boss battler is. Totally my favorite genre. Sentinels is totally my favorite superhero game.
What is up, everyone? I am the winner, and welcome to our game room. Today, it's Friday. So you know what that means? Another Favorite Game Friday. And this week's topic is your favorite game that is a boss battler. For me, I don't have too many games that deal with battling bosses, but one of the ones that I really enjoy is Vagrant Song. In Vagrant Song, you are passengers on a ghost train, and you're fighting off haints to try to restore their humanity so they can get out of limbo, basically, and go to the afterlife. This game is beautiful. All the bosses and characters are all these acrylic standees. It's a really fun game. You're pulling chits out of a bag to determine what actions and stuff you get to do, and each chit does something different for the boss when they pull, and each boss deals with them in different ways. I haven't gotten a chance to play through the entirety of the game, but from what I played so far, it's a very solid boss battler. So that is my pick. So I hope everyone has a great week, and thanks for watching.
Hey friends and gamers, it's Frenchie. Happy Friday. Before I go into what my favorite boss battle game is, let me tell you what everyone's least favorite boss battle game is. That's the battle game where you fight against your cat every night for control of your bed. So as far as board games are concerned, my favorite boss battle game is Kingdom Rush. It's a fun game based on the iOS video game from years ago. I remember playing that with my son years and years ago. And now in a board game fun, it's a nice tower defense game where a horde is coming to go ahead and take over you. And then obviously the big boss that's coming through the end. You have spells, you have different abilities with your different heroes and your different characters. It's fun, puzzly, cartoony, guilty pleasure, but really enjoyable. So that's my pick for this Friday. Hey everyone, until next week, play nice, take care of yourself. We'll see you then.
This is Jumpstart Board Games, and my favorite boss battler game is Attack on Titan: The Last Stand. This push your luck 1 versus mini game is designed by Antoine Bauza. This game is based on my favorite TV show, Attack on Titan. In this game, up to 4 players will try and defend themselves and the civilians against the Titan and their vicious attacks. The Titan will be controlled by another player, and they're going to be trying to eliminate civilians, destroy fortifications, and take out the heroes trying to stop them. The heroes will primarily be using dice to take out the Titan. The key aspect of the game is that the hero players can reroll a dice as often as they like, but anytime the Titan face comes up, they must give that dice to the Titan player, and this will make them stronger with each die they collect this way. Heroes must weigh the risks of rerolling their dice in order to save humanity.
Hi, it's Barb, Maple PhD, and my favorite game that features a boss battle is Elder Sign. This is a game where you are battling one of the elder gods, and you're doing this kind of throughout the game, trying to actually prevent them from coming to Earth. And if you are super unlucky with your dice rolls and trying to complete tasks throughout the game, you have a final battle and one last chance to prevent this elder god from taking over and eating the world. So that's my favorite. Happy Friday, everyone.
Hey everyone, I'm Nathan, and this is Sweetie. Our favorite game with boss battles is Lord of the Rings, the card game. The forces of Sauron have no shortage of bosses, and our favorite boss is the Watcher in the Water.
Kia ora koutou, Kakamacat here, and my destructive bird, Ducky. This is the one that chews everything. So the favourite boss battler for me is Final Girl, but I haven't been able to get hold of it until literally a few days ago. I got my hands on the core box, but my game store couldn't get hold of any of the special features, so I still can't play with it. But initially, when I was trying to find it, it put me onto Hostage Negotiator, so I found these ones early on, not realizing I couldn't play my career, so I only just managed to get hold of Crime Wave and some demand packs and abductor packs. So yes, I almost got my full set. Just love this game. Just so much down to luck. It's just really fun. Anyway, have a good one.
Hello, Favorite Game Friday. I'm Jared.
And I'm Holly.
And we're with the Meeple Mentor YouTube channel. Today we're talking about the favorite game that has boss battles. For me, that's going to be Dark Souls, the board game. That is all about fighting through, encounter after encounter to get to a mini boss. It's huge, big battles, and then you do it again. You get to a mega boss or a main boss, and then a mega boss, and it is just amazing. It's a lot of fun, cooperative. That's my boss battle game pick.
I have to say mine is probably Cowboy Bebop. I've never played Dark Souls, but Cowboy Bebop is a lot of fun. It also has the feature of a mega boss. So you've got people that you're recruiting, and then you've got people that you're trying to take down. You constantly have bosses, enemies around the table, and then the mega boss. So it's a lot of fun.
I really like that one too. That's a good one. It's got worker placement in it.
Yeah.
It's very cool. All right, thanks guys.
Hi, I'm Josh from the YouTube channel Josh Yaks, and I think the only game on my shelves here that involves any kind of boss battle is Mechs vs. Minions, although my kids and I haven't actually gotten to that point in the campaign, so I can't say with 100% certainty that that's the case. So instead, I'm going to take a little bit of a tangential sidestep and mention one of my top 10 games of all time, a little game that I never hear anyone talking about. It's one where players are battling each other as rival mob families, and it's called The Boss. So yes, it is The Boss, a game of battling mob families. A bit of a stretch, I know, but more people really need to check out this amazing little game. Cheers.
For me right now, I'm gonna say King of Monster Island. This is the cooperative King of Tokyo game where you're fighting against a gigantic boss that's kind of running around the island and smashing things up and dropping minions everywhere, and you're all these other monsters going to fight that guy. It is a fun cooperative game that has that King of Tokyo flavor, but also is cooperative at the same time, and you're taking out a big bad boss.
Hello and happy Friday, everyone. Clay here from the channel Beer City Board Games on my very first favorite game Friday. So I was taking a look around my collection and I realized that I don't actually own a lot of games that feature bosses or boss battles, but one that I do own and really enjoy is Cthulhu Death May Die. In this game you are fighting back evil, and I mean actually fighting evil. I like the more that you overcome, the more powerful your character gets, but probably my favorite thing is that you can mix and match the scenarios and the bosses and get a different experience each time you play. Such a great concept and a great game. Cthulhu Death May Die.
I'm here under the table of Dice Tower Studios, hiding from the beasties, the monsters, but most importantly, the ghosts. The ghost bound on the train to eternity. I love the American folklore of the ghost train, and fighting the monsters, fighting the spirits of deceased humans, restoring the humanity is my favorite in Vagrant's Life. Hey, there's Roy in the back.
Are you under the tape?
Shh.
Okay, troops, y'all ready for this? No, of course not. You're not full-fledged breach mages yet. But, gotta do what we gotta do to protect Gravehold. So, Nathan, our cartographer, has come up with a somewhat safe place up on the ridge over here where you guys can send your little piddling spark spells and try and distract the little guys while we take on the big baddie. The Nemesis is gonna be sending even more of his minions out our way. Evan, stop with your games. You too, Diesel. Let's go. And Frenchie, for God's sake, take off the red beret. Do you want to look like a target? Come on.
Happy Friday, everybody. I'm Libby, this is Julian, and together we are Box Meeples.
Now, my favourite board game with a boss battle in is, in fact, in Bullet Heart. You're no longer playing against one person trying to chuck bullets at them. Instead, you're working cooperatively, trying to match up with the boss's pattern while chucking as many bullets as you can at them to try and defeat them. You will win or you will lose.
My choice this week is Imperial Assault. There's several moments throughout that campaign where the Imperial player brings out some big pieces, and you know, as the rebels, you're really going to have to pull together, work as a team, and use all your assets to their fullest in order to get through that and progress on to the next stage of the campaign.
Hey everybody, my favorite game with boss fights is Eldritch Horror. In Eldritch Horror, you play as a team of investigators who must use their special skills to travel the globe fighting epic monsters. When the doom track reaches 0, the epic monster is released. Ah!
Hello everyone, Merlin's Manor here for Favorite Game Friday, and my favorite boss battler game is Vagrant Song. This is a game where you are going up against a bunch of different haints that are all needing to have their humanity restored by doing different types of things, and so each scenario is going to be different in the way it plays out, and so I really enjoy it. The artwork is great, as well as the gameplay. Happy Friday, everyone.
Hey everybody, my pick this week is a game that I have a soft spot for, and that's Uncharted board game, which is based on the PS3 game, I guess, where you get to fight either this dude, or this monster, or even maybe a tank or a helicopter.
And my choice is Sleeping Gods, and this monster right here is trying to drag you down to the depths.
All right, happy Friday, everybody.
Bye.
Well, there's been a lot of good boss battlers out lately, but I think I'm going to talk about Vagrant Song. Vagrant Song is a really cool game where you are playing on a haunted train, and every kind of scenario you're facing off against a different boss haint, which is basically a ghost. So if you haven't checked that one out, I think you should. It's Vagrant Song.
Hey, Favorite Game Friday. It's Chris and Andy from the Chasing Meeples. The game we want to talk about this week is Return to the Dark Tower. When we think about a game that involves boss battling and tension and builds just to a crescendo that makes it worth it in the end, it's Return to the Dark Tower. It's this game. You know, the game starts off slow. When you think about the pace of the game, it starts off slow and it builds and it builds. And this tower is messing with you, and skulls are dropping and more mobs are coming and things are getting stronger and stronger, and you're running out of time, and all you want to do is get that boss, one of these baddies on the cover here, out of this bad tower, this bad place, get them on the table so you can win. And that's the problem. Angie and I don't win this game that often. What are you doing? Are you putting me in the tower? Okay.
It's about time.
I'm out. I'm the boss now. All right, so Return to the Dark Tower. If you haven't had a chance to play it, you should check it out. What do you think?
It's good.
Have a great weekend, everybody. Keep chasing those meeples.
You want to shut up.
What's happening, Favorite Game Friday? My name is Ludame. I am the owner and host of Ludame Games, and when it comes to fighting bosses in games, very few give me the satisfaction of feeling like I just punched the bad guy than Devin Lowe's Legendary, a fantastic cooperative deck building game all about gathering your favorite heroes together, recruiting them into your deck to use those heroes and work together to beat up all the henchmen in the world with the ultimate hope of stopping your favorite masterminds from carrying out their plans. Happy Friday, everyone!
It's always fun in games when you have a gigantic enemy that you're having to take down, or just different weird enemies that you have to take out. Make sure to leave in the comments down below your favorite game where you have to take down a boss monster. And we want to say thank you to all of our contributors who joined in this week on Favorite Game Friday. Make sure to check them out all around the internet, wherever they come from. And if you want to be a part of Favorite Game Friday, it would be awesome to have you join in. All you have to do is do a super short video, put it in the Google Drive link down below. Next week's topic is going to be set collection. Is there a game where you have to collect either sets of resources or sets of cards to be able to turn those in, normally for points, lots of contract fulfillment stuff, but set collection is kind of what we're going for here. Make sure to do a video for that if you want to be a part of next week, and we'll be able to see you then on Favorite Game Friday. I hope you have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you on the next one.